Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Proving Ground Circuit Qualifier. We are ready, Smet, for a game number 3 here between Fear and AOE Randoms.
Yeah, I don't even know if the other stream was going to a game 3. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
we got a clean sweep over there, but I won't spoil anything further. You're gonna have to check out twitch.tv/academy for that one. And if you're here, welcome back. Yeah, as you said, we have a 1-1 series, Cincinnati Fear against AOE Randoms. And anyone down for a reverse sweep here, Travesty? What do you think?
I think right now, I remember Fear actually put out a tweet because a lot of the times when it came down to predictions last season, a lot of people did not vote for them because of their weaker earlier showing. And this time they posted a thing saying, oh yeah, everybody it believes in us now. It's about time. And then at the very end, they're like, or maybe we're jinxed. So we'll have to see. Maybe they don't want people to predict for them anymore after today.
Yeah, maybe. But, you know, at the same time here, in the last event, they went to 3 games in pretty much every single series that they played. So that is also just something that Cincinnati Fear likes to do, especially in that group stage. All of the group stage games went to 3. So maybe it's not a jinx. Maybe it's not a curse. Maybe it's just how they play. Maybe they want to give us some more entertainment, and it's working.
I'm definitely thoroughly entertained here. And I want to talk about how AOE Randoms won that, right? Like they had a 5k deficit for almost a majority of that game. And it was off the back of some very clean team fighting from AOE Randoms, right?
Yeah, for sure. I really liked the flanks from Nemesis 9 in specific. The Azir was really good. And Geiger played the Cho'Gath really well, which is not something that I was expecting to say at the end of any of the games, let alone the stream in its entirety. But yeah, a good Cho'Gath performance in the top lane. Not that I'm hating on Geiger or anything. I just was not expecting that champion to be played in the role, but he did a really good job. He played the lane super well. We talked about it a little early, where he was actually able to get a turret played against a gangplank up there on Cho'Gath of all champions. So super fun stuff from him. The team fights were great. I did end up liking the Jhin a lot from Psycho as well. So there we go. I complimented both Geiger and Psycho. The Twitch chat is probably going to be very happy.
They have been sated by your words. I agree with you too, because it is also just like one of those things. Cho'Gath's not a popular pick right now, right? Like if people think tanks, they'll probably go to like Ornn or something like that. But the Cho'Gath came out big. He was the thick boy he needed to be. And then Psycho was the Jhin that was needed to be, right? He wasn't the Jhin with 4 teeth. He was able to pop off inside of those team fights, find the angles, and really make things hard. And I think another person I really want to highlight, especially because we talked about Nemesis 9, who did a tremendous job inside that game. Pockets was so good on the recon and finding those members that were caught out of position, especially Sketch was constantly like a heat-seeking missile when it came down to Sketch.
Yeah, he really tried to make life miserable for the carries of Cincinnati Fear, and that's one of my favorite things to do on recon personally. I just love bouncing in and out of those team fights and knocking people up, charming them. It's a great time. It kind of makes you feel, you know, better about yourself even when you're playing the recon, because you know everyone on Summoner's Rift finds you so attractive, and then you're
it's
like,
true.
Oh, you know, yeah, I'm kind of that guy.
Yeah. You hear those compliments, and it's like I'm playing them, so they're kind of complimenting me too. Yeah, that's okay.
You know,
I'll take it. I'll take it where I can get it. I get it.
Yep.
But
how it goes.
My question next is going to be, how does Cincinnati Fear go into this next game, right? Because the Swain didn't exactly work. You talked about it earlier. Blaze came into this game after the last time we saw Swain and him on the same field. It didn't turn out good for him. Second time, same thing. Wasn't able to really get into those fights, and the composition kind of started to fall apart in the later parts.
The comp was pretty short range outside of the Jinx, and when Cho'Gath and Rakan can walk directly at your Jinx, she no longer has that range advantage that she did before, especially not into Jhin. So, yeah, 100% correct there. I think the Fear needs some readjustments when it comes to this draft. I think they're moving over to red side, if I'm reading this correctly.
Okay.
So, no first pick.
Red side,
that
BOP.
probably means they probably means they can't ban Yasuo and Yone again. So that could be interesting.
Yeah, we've actually seen Seraphine over here has had 100% ban rate on red side, so nobody's letting Seraphine through. So it does seem like you have to give up one of your bans to make sure Seraphine stays off the table. No Seraphine stands inside of, no concerts being held here today.
But tomorrow, when the Star Guardian skin releases,
that's a different story. Different story, yes.
Yeah.
Everybody will be on then for that concert.
Oh yeah. Have you listened to the Talia Sessions album?
I have not listened to the album. I only got the teaser so far, so I gotta go to it.
It's real good. What kind of music do you like, Travesty?
I'm a every kind of music kind of person, except for country music. I'm not a big fan of country music.
Okay. Well, I have good news for you. Okay. Sessions Talia is not country music.
That's great.
Not at all.
If I got Star Guardian country music, I would be mad.
I don't know. I think it'd be fun. Maybe like Star Guardian Twisted Fate or something. What do you think they listen? Think they listen to country music in Bilgewater? Probably.
Southern rock. I'll give them Southern rock. Maybe. But here we go. We're getting into the draft. We're getting into the ban phase here, and we're seeing as much as these games have changed up our perspective of things, some bans stay the same. No Darius for Dragoon, and Seraphine constantly banned on red side.
If I remember correctly, he actually did have the opportunity to pick the Darius last game, but didn't choose to do so, as he did first pick the Gangplank instead. But yeah, like you said, when you're on red side, you have more responsibility in the bans, and when you're on blue side, that's not quite there anymore. So Darius freed up on the blue, and Fear, they actually are gonna potentially go for both Yasuo and Yone bans away. Oh no way, that would be so funny.
Wow,
they banned Cho'Gath. Let's go. Geiger's popping off.
Geiger is popping off. He's putting Cho'Gath on the map. But
yeah, man,
Gangplank's still up, dude. Does AOE randoms take Gangplank again? First pick? Oh, wow.
You know, Travesty, I realized something that made me not care at all. Is it snowing behind you? Look at your window.
I don't think it is. It's like 80 degrees.
Do you see
outside.
That? It looks like it's snowing.
It does look like it's snowing. I don't know what's happening out there, but it's not. No, it's like 80 degrees, 90 degrees
see that,
over here.
Though, right? It looks like there's snow. It's glistening and everything. Does it look like that for you? Can you turn around and look?
Yeah. Hold up.
Does it?
No, it doesn't look like that on mine.
What?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I thought you lived like down south, right?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I was very confused. It is July also, so doubly strange.
Yeah. It's like 90 degrees outside, and it's just like, yeah, let's do some Christmas outside. Let's go. It's July.
Okay. Anyway, I'm back to being interested in the draft again. Gangplank was picked by Cincinnati Fear. This time not first picked. AOE randoms did not go for it at all, and instead they first picked the Jhin, which again can be dangerous, but doesn't seem to be that much of an issue for Psycho. He seems very confident in it.
That's a Kale.
Yeah.
Just locked in. They see the gameplay. They say, all right, cool. Kale, I'll scale with you.
Yeah, I mean, he's already got the creative counter picks into this Gangplank. Yeah, the Cho'Gath. Now this is his second option. I feel like at this point, if anyone's gonna beat the Gangplank with the counter picks, you know what? I kind of think it's both of them, because Dragoon's Aatrox looked really good into Gangplank too.
Yep.
Maybe Gangplank is just terrible.
I'm gonna go ahead and say no. Definitely not. They're putting a lot of priority into it, but it is these top laners, and it does speak volumes to what their level is, where they're constantly they've seen this matchup. This champion's been in the meta for so long that they've just created their own counter picks, because they're like, I don't want to ban it. I'm tired of banning it all the time. I'll play against it. Let me figure out a way to beat it. That's what we've seen these two top laners do time and time again. Now we're going into that second ban phase, and we do see the shoe is on the other foot this time around. We get Trickster Udyr this time.
Ooh, I really like the way that AOE Randoms decided to not ban the Yone this time. Because if you look at Cincinnati Fear's composition, you're not picking Yone in this team. You already have 3 auto attackers. You have no magic damage outside of the Phoenix stance. You're definitely not picking the Yone. And now that they definitely didn't pick the Yone, AOE Randoms can scoop in and give it to Nemesis 9. I'm really hoping that this happens. Otherwise, all this buildup is for nothing. Give it to me.
Yeah!
Let's
There
go.
it is. That's a Yone. Give it to you. You ask, you shall receive. Nemesis 9's Yone is on the field.
Yes, I still have a brain after all these years. I could still predict the draft. Oh, okay. So Gragas, this is a jungler that we've seen a bit in the amateur space just yesterday, as we played it a few times in the AOE games. So that's pretty cool. The burst build is what we're expecting here, trying to set up for a lot of that that AOE burst, the crowd control as well. And even though it's not his, I think younger brother, I don't know the ages of Yone and Yasuo. It's not his brother, but Yone can still provide a whole lot of utility with the Gragas as well. So I like that combination.
On the other side, we do see the Akali, and that is going to be going to Blaze in the mid lane. And Blaze and Akali, we got a very spicy matchup here. I have seen a highlight reel worth of content just featuring these 2 champions alone.
It's going to be really fun. I will say, this time, again, Cincinnati Fear does have a bit of an issue in terms of the range, but they don't have to worry about it as much this time because they have ways to get in even if they don't have the range. Akali in specific, you're not really worried about having no range on Akali. You're in anyway. You're shuriken flipping. You're doing all these backflips. I mean, did you see the Star Guardian Akali splash art? She's upside down in the art. That's how you know.
I've already reserved the money in my wallet to buy that skin, so yes.
Me too. I absolutely have. So, Trav, you know, the skins are coming out tomorrow. They're okay. You know, they're all right. But then the patch after, where they're bringing out the big guns. We got Talia, Rel, Akali, and what was the other one? I'm forgetting now. I'm blanking. But all of those ones. I had it again, but then I dropped it.
I saw the Prestige Syndra one. I don't know if that comes out.
The Syndra one's pretty good.
Yeah, that one's really good.
I do like the Syndra one. There's also Morgana, but there's another Star Guardian there.
Morgana one's so
But
good.
Anyway, it's all the champions that I really like. All of them are coming up.
It's the age of smats.
I'm gonna have to buy them all. I'm dropping a whole bunch of money. I already apologized to my husband on Twitter, but I'm going bankrupt in 2 weeks' time.
Counting down on the calendar.
I am buying all of the Star Girls, okay? They will be mine. All of the skins. They were going to my account. Akali's one of them.
I like how you're talking about all this stuff too, and I just think about like, oh man, it would be great if we had like a Star Guardian Gragas, right? That's the real dream right there.
All right, now that our faces are not on the screen, I'm gonna hack the system. I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Look at it. It's Quinn. Yeah, Quinn. Okay.
Quinn.
So fun story about Quinn. You may think that I'm not a Quinn player, Travesty, but Quinn was my first ever League of Legends main. That's a true story. This is back in season 3. I was a Quinn 80 carry main. That was back when the ultimate, you didn't ride the bird, you turned into the bird.
Yeah, you turned into the
champion.
bird. Yes.
If you look on my account back in season 3, I had a 70% win rate on Quinn in season 3.
That's pretty impressive.
That was over
especially
like 80 games.
Now you can't have a win rate that's positive at all on the champion.
She's not very good. Yeah.
She's not very good. Yeah, now she's really not good.
But yeah, back in the day, I was quite the Quinn enjoyer. Okay, so it goes even further than that because back then I acknowledged that Quinn was an assassin and I was just playing her in the bottom lane, so I would take Ignite in that lane. I would go Vault Max Ignite because that's where you'd get most of her damage is on the Vault. Also, it's just one of the coolest spells in the whole game. I'm talking a lot about a champion that's not even in this game, but hear me out.
Yeah. I'm waiting to see where this
Ignite
goes.
in the bottom lane, you'd go into the brush, a minion would die, you'd hit level 6, they wouldn't even know it. Then a bird is flying at them, hecking their eyes out.
Don't know
You
what to do with
ignite them,
that.
you murder them, and it's over. It's a wrap. They can't do anything, and that was my strategy.
Now
My story's over. You can talk about the game now.
I just wondered where it went into. Wow,
Oh,
that's a fun fact.
76%. See, I was underselling myself.
I'm
Yeah,
impressed.
it's over a lot of games.
I'm very
You should
impressed.
be, yeah. I was how old was I at the time? I was 15 at the time.
I think my fun fact champion was I was a Vladimir one trick at one point in time, and I had like a 78% win rate. So that's my
Nice.
season 3 champion. But
Just subtly a higher percentage win rate than mine.
just
I like it.
subtly,
Nice.
just subtly. It
Yep,
might
of
not be
course.
78. It might be lower. It probably is lower. Who knows? I'm probably gonna get a fun fact that says I have 75%, and then it's all over for me. But
Ooh. We'll find out. I mean, now we just have to wait for the fun fact to drop.
we're waiting on the fun fact. Plutz, giving a fun fact of his own to Bacchus, trying to give him a reminder of how everything happened, but unfortunately, Bacchus not falling for that again.
Quite the recovery in the last game for Focus and Psycho. They were getting beat up in the bottom lane,
Yes.
and not quite the same in this next one. Oh, we're getting word from the production that Travesty has his account hidden. Nobody is able to look it up.
Oh.
Travesty, drop your OPGG.
All right, listen. That will have
listening.
to probably be a side project as this goes on. But we will go there. We will discover this. There will be a number shown. I will do
Okay.
a screenshot or something of it. I don't know. But
Yeah, I'm just right out in the open, man. My account is just Smacks.
see, my
SMAX.
account's just
You can look it up
travesty,
right
so
now.
I'm very.
Oh, is
Yeah, I
is
mean,
it
you
spelled
played
the
into
same?
me.
I have. Isn't it 2 Y's?
No, it's just one Y.
Is it?
Yeah.
How did?
It's
How
it's
did,
one. It's one. It's regular travesty, just not with 2 Y's at the end.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Well, Ebram is just struggling, I guess.
it's just having a hard time. It's okay. Right now, somebody else is having a hard time.
Almost getting ghosted
Trickster, letting him know, telling him about himself, flashing over the wall. Trickster, his presence is known.
Ulthar had to flash out there. Flash for Ghost trade. That means the Trickster's going to have his summoner spell up earlier. That's how Ghost works. And, oh no, Trickster. No, that's not Swiftness Boots.
Hey, look, there
Ooh,
it is. 81%.
81.
Oh, it was season 4. It was season 4. There you go.
Well, yeah, your number's higher. Nice job.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. It was a different season, a different time, but
Yep.
still. Going into this game, Nemesis 9 and Blaze in this Kali versus Yone matchup. Neither one of have taken each other out, but I feel like once the ultimates come online, it's going to be quite hard to not look at the mid lane.
Yeah. We're nearing that point right now as Nemesis 9 is just pushing in this wave. He's got Focus to back him up, but this wave is sort of in a weird spot. Yeah, this is what you got to do. So you need this wave to get underneath that turret so that Nemesis can take a recall and not actually miss a lot of these minions. He's level 6 now, so it should be pretty easy for him. They're just wanting to give the big one to Focus if he gets all the gold from the Relic Shield. But now you can see the wave is underneath that turret. Nemesis 9 can recall, and the minion waves will meet in the middle again. And that is favorable for Nemesis 9 because this means he probably doesn't have to teleport, especially if he buys boots, which exactly it is what he's going to do. Really valuable purchase on Yone. And, throw all that out in the window. He is teleporting anyway, and I'm almost right.
Almost there. But keeping our eyes peeled. I'm looking at Plutz here. Plutz is trying to be as active as possible. Spots out Coulter so they know where he is exactly. I think this dragon is just easy picking for Cincinnati Fear.
Both are even leashing it for them. You see that? Drop the barrel on the Drake.
So
It
nice.
granted him vision, yes, but it also did 200 extra damage to the dragon. And Cincinnati Fear couldn't have done it without the help of Colthrow. Thank you, Colthrow.
This is a public think cold throw moment.
Yeah, like the PBS ending.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
viewers like you. Thank you.
yeah. That's exactly.
Geiger's level 6. He's a range champion.
He's like a fourth of a champion now.
It's more than a fourth. Come on.
You think so?
Maybe melee KO is a fourth of a champion.
Yeah, it's a rough thing there. Nice little catch there. A little bit of CC lockdown onto Sketch as he gets left alone. Flut's going on his own mission.
It's hard to buffer that into Rakan. It's sometimes tricky to tell where the knockup is going to land because it does factor in the travel time for Rakan. So obviously, if you're closer to where you actually drop the W, it's going to take less time to actually knock you up because you don't have to dash all of that distance. So it can be tricky. I got to commend Sketch for getting the timing right.
Yeah, he's no stranger to this champion, right? This is one of those champions that you were talking about earlier, like Sketch diversifying the pool and whatnot. This is a Sketch signature champion. This is a champion that when other people were playing the other 80 carries in the last Proving Ground qualifiers and whatnot, Sketch was still pulling out the Tristana. And this is a champion that has seen quite a reputable playstyle and can be that demolishing crew that people just don't want to mess with. I like how the two junglers just walk right past each other.
They had to have seen each other, right?
They had to.
Completely focused on their own task at hand. The tunnel vision of both of them.
Ships passing in the night.
They're just big guys with suits and briefcases walking across New York City. Just head down, trying to get to their destination.
They gotta put...
Yeah, Trickster gets the crab. Well, our destination as of this moment, Travesty, is our face.
Pause. Yeah. It looks like that was our destination. We got a little pause and want to bring it back to our faces here to get ourselves ready for what's to come. And right now, it seems like it's a big game. It's not an elimination game, but you can definitely tell these players are focused.
Yeah, the winner of this game, obviously, it has a lot of implications on the groups individually, but if you win a series in the group, then you do get 10 Proving Grounds points for qualifying for the main event. So if you're a team like Cincinnati Fear, you're probably expected to make it out of this group, so it matters a little bit less. But for AOE Randoms, they're seeded last in this group. They are not expected to win any series in this group. That's just kind of how that works. You know, if you're seeded last, you're not really expected to win. But if AOE Randoms actually do win even a series in this group, that can mean a whole lot for them moving forward and actually getting into that top 10 because they have been around for a while. They got 15 from the first OQ. They got another 15 from the next one. That puts them at 30. And there is a slim chance that having 40 points pushes you over the edge. Maybe my math is wrong there, but
well, I mean, especially since there's no Jake's Kittens, right? Like,
yeah, true.
Like that opens up the avenue for a lot of these teams. I remember Gullimer posted a thing where he was talking about like CLG, Faith, and Supernova also find themselves in a much favorable situation. The same is said for AOE Randoms, who even in a matchup like this, right? Like if you win here, you still are contending for first in your seed inside of the group, and that's a huge boon to have. But oh man, the combo smacking around Sketch. Body blocking coming in is going to just flash out of danger. Lutz is going to get tagged by some barrels, and you see Trister trying to make his way. The ghost is there. He's looking. He's calling the shot. The exhaust burning away, and first blood goes to Coulter as they find a kill traded between junglers. Trister not done just yet as that Phoenix stance smacks him a little bit, reminds him who he is, and will run back into the jungle to farm up some more camps.
1-for-1 trade, but it's a first blood for AOE Randoms, and just as you said, the combination of those spells was beautifully done. The Gragas into the Jhin range forces everything out of Sketch. Is now, this is 9. You gotta run.
Yeah, has to run. Doesn't have the ultimate ability yet, and it's a flawlessly executed play by Fear. I said flawlessly executed, okay? I didn't stutter smash.
No, I was worried that Blaze was about to die. And I still am kind of worried because there's a Gragas in his lane, but
not even close.
We're looking somewhere else. The turret almost got him. I don't know if I want to say not even close. I get what you're going for, but it was kind of close.
Listen, not even.
I'm listening. Okay.
Not even close. But also, something that was very close was Sketch's life fading here right into the tower. This is a beautiful combo.
Yeah. The only reason that Sketch doesn't die there is actually because of Flux. He deals all this crowd control specifically onto Coldthrow, because if he doesn't get that, that body slam is going to come and interrupt the rocket jump, and that would leave Sketch dead. He's got no HP after that. He can't get out of the curtain call. You gotta praise Flux for that one.
Praise Flux. See it going on.
Praise be the sun, as he is playing Leon.
Geiger is roaming, and Nemesis doesn't find Blaze at the end of his blade, goes into that shroud, is not able to be found. Dragon has spawned, is Ocean Drake. So secures the scuttle. Well, unfortunate for AOE randoms.
Actually.
Oh no, he didn't.
No, he didn't do that.
Yeah. Oh, I thought he did. I thought I saw the smite. It was not his smite.
Coldthrow's still got another one though, and he might use that to kill this dragon. Now, it's still going to be 2 dragons for Cincinnati Fear, even though the scuttle reveals it. That's another 2 Drake lead.
Yeah, but look at this catch out onto Pockets. They're looking to lay in some damage. Good bomb onto him will lay in a good amount of damage. A little bit of a snare as well. The grenade will dance, but no kills just yet. Trits are coming in, and oh man, look at all those wards inside that bush. He doesn't care about any of them. He's got Shelly to place.
Tails here. Can Sketch get an attack onto the turret? Let's see. Does he get the gold? Yay!
Hey.
We gave gold to our AD carry. Yes! Yes! Good job.
You've been in the jungle quite a bit.
I mean, yeah. You're gonna make me start talking about Udyr again here, Travis. Nobody wants that, except for me.
He doesn't have a tier this time.
He doesn't have a tier this time. That's because Coldthrow was the one who did that, not Trickster.
Exactly.
But Trickster built Ionian boots. I don't know what's going on there.
Also has lethal tempo instead of the base.
Oh, you know, okay, I figured it out. Ionian boots lets you ghost more, so it reduces the cooldown of ghost.
Oh, so technically it's more speed.
I
and Swifties.
am speed.
Is that the noise that you make?
Yeah, that's the beginning of Cars. You ever seen the movie Cars? Nice dodge.
I've seen it. Very good movie. Also, good ultimate coming out from Geiger, but will it be enough? Coldthrow does a good amount to dissuade, but the ghost has been popped, and Trickster has his target in his sights, but Pockets is coming over here from the lane, coming straight through the river, and is here to be the assistance needed. Trickster gets hit by the grand entrance made, and it is AOE randoms that turn around the play. Now in the bot lane. Psycho getting jumped onto. Zenith Blade forward. It's easy as that. When one play happens, another one is made on the opposite side.
Good looks from both teams responding in tow as we get a nice roam from Pocus, making sure the Trickster does get punished, but it leaves Psycho with no friends in the bottom lane. And that is likely to be first turret alongside it, heavily favoring Cincinnati Fear in the end of that play. Tristana just deals so much damage to these structures as we get to see the beginning of this one. I like that Sketch tanked the curtain call shots on the wave so that they still have minions to hit the turret with. I really like that.
The little things, and Sketch makes sure to make a big deal and get that kill. Coldthrow is going to start up Rift Herald, but look at this. Cincinnati Fear is already back onto the map and is looking to stop this immediately.
See if they can. Coldthrow has done a great job of this so far. Focus. Whoa.
Nice lockdown onto Trickster. Trying to see what he'll be able to do. Flood's doing a good job tanking some of the damage coming through. Does force them off of the play. Dragoon laying out some barrels, keeping Geiger separated from the fight. Herald is looking to be just taken. Oh. Explosive cast does not get the kill. Good try. Oh. Go in with the solar flare, laying in some good damage. Looking to jump forward is Marcus. Marcus gets dropped. Blaze finds the kill and he connects for 2. Finding it more so. Coulter, are you nets? No, he's able to chug away in peace.
Oh man, That was a really nasty shuriken flip from Blaze. I mean, we know he can play these burst assassins, but it's still just so fun. It's such a treat every single time that he gets to do it on the Rift. I want to watch that again because Blaze just finessed all over him with the flip.
Such a highlight reel moment, right? Like, just watch this. It's so good.
Gets in there with the perfect execution. And he's got the prediction on lock. He's exhausted through this too. Damn. Shuriken flip connects. Psycho cannot escape even through that trap. And Cold Throw, he takes a ton of damage too, but he's out. It's okay. Blaze is all right with that one. He already got his 2 kills. He's got 3 of them now. And he's had the Dark Seal the whole time. Look at those stacks. The glory is here. Yeah. Looking to make sure the presence is known. Trying to, you know, like I said, getting those clips ready to go. 3-0 now, has that rocket belt available. So the mobility is there, and the plays that can be made are something to be feared as we continue to go further into this game. But some other items have been completed. Immortal Shield Bow for the Yone. Oh. Again, a good buffer. Sketch. Yep. You didn't even need a buffer at that time. It was just a whiff from Cold Throw. Can't quite land the body slam. And he was really looking to get that kill because if Sketch dies there, then the Drake is super, super free from AoE randoms. You have to imagine. See if Cincinnati Fury can take that leverage that they just gained by not having their AD carry die, do something with it. M9 has ult.
SS9 is looking to see who we can catch. Beautiful ult gets onto Dragoon. They get the kill onto Tritsu to start things off. Geiger has to ult himself, but Blaze has joined into the fray, and this is a Kunoichi you do not want to mess with. Blaze is on a rampage, but the numbers favor AoE randoms. Plus doing the best that he can to hold everything off. A beautiful buster shot off of the rocket jump. A nice stun. Cold Throw secures the kill before he goes down. And SS9 trying to see if he can finish things off for his team, but Psycho will do just that. The 4th shot locked and loaded. Blaze will retreat. Team fights again in AoE random's favor as Blaze can't quite clean everybody up underneath that turret. It's just too difficult. Yes, he gets a couple of kills and fills up his Dark Seal, but the fight goes over to the randoms, and that is again halting the Drake stack. 2 games in a row, AoE are doing it again. I'm just amazed. The AoE is doing this again with these team fights, like you were just saying, and this actually gets very scary. Like, look at this, how this whole entire play starts. This is just a beautiful pick. Again, you mentioned in the last game, but Focus on this Rakan is really able to lock people down again and again and again. And I really enjoy the way that Geiger is playing in this last team fight also. He's just so far up there on the Kale, just trying to deal as much damage as possible. And the reason I like that a lot on Kale is because if you get to the late game, you're gonna deal a lot of damage. You can be a carry then, but you're not really a carry now. You're really just trying to stall time and try to make sure the rest of your team can deal all this damage and use your ultimate on yourself just to be a diversion. I think that's a really creative way to team fight on the Kale that doesn't have a lot of items or levels yet. You can even see the damage numbers. They just don't lie, and everybody from AoE randoms coming in clutch, pulling the damage numbers, making sure nobody's left behind. Bloods, though, find himself in a rough scenario. It's okay. He's Leona. Doesn't have to worry about too much coming their way. So they're looking to see who else they can catch out on the sides here. Nemesis? The Yone ultimate. There was potentially an angle there. But they're just going to give over the blue buff, it looks like. Oh, no, wait, they didn't. Cold Throw's got it. Yeah, Cold Throw's got it. He secured it. He's got a happy dog. That is a very happy dog, yes. Also, I'm a little scared because AoE randoms, they have a Kale like you were talking about. Oh, boy. They're getting higher in levels. He's fine. He's got his ultimate. This Kale's getting closer to... you don't really want to use your ultimate like that. I mean, he's going to be okay. He'll be fine. If you think about it, Blaze also used his ultimate, so it's a trade. Ult for ult. Yeah. Turret's dead, though. Cincinnati Fear, they've got 3 of them at this point, all the outers. And if they're playing around this rift well, they can start denying a lot of these camps away from AoE randoms, which matters quite a bit when you're playing something like Kale. You need a lot of resources. Geiger's still 3 levels away from stardom, and probably
probably 1 or 2 items also in that meantime. If he can get those, that'd be pretty nice.
Would be a very nice. Has to be sitting on some gold, right? Has there we go. All right, just picked up another bit, so it's going for that Riftmaker build. So see how that plays out for them, especially since Tritzer has gone for that Frozen Heart second item, trying to get in there, lower that attack speed, since this is a pretty AD heavy team for quite a bit of time until Geiger starts getting those items like you were talking about, trying to answer Dragoon on these side lane pushes.
That's the thing about Kale, is once Kale's level 16, you're not an anything heavy team. You deal true damage, and there's nothing you can really do about that. So for Geiger, he's definitely biding his time to get to that point.
Yeah,
seeing some very light skirmishes happen around the rift again, and Psycho once more setting up his 4 traps on the mid lane like clockwork. You know, I want to bring up, if he's always got those traps up, then what are they doing? Nobody's stepping on them.
I feel like it might.
Nice?
Maybe it's like a shrine of empowerment for him, you know, right? Like it just makes.
Maybe it's
him
one of
feel
those
powerful.
things where like it's just wall decoration.
Yeah. Like it's
Psycho works hard to make this house a home.
It works. As Sketch is looking to make some damage work onto Geiger. Unfortunately, it's null and void.
Yeah, Gale Ultimate pretty good at that.
Yep.
Got cold
good
throw.
at stopping that.
He's taking a little bit of a journey.
Yeah. Got his Chug Jug. He'll be fine. He's able to stop Trickster in his tracks. Psycho's there to give the roots the support. Sketch, yet again, trying to find a target to jump onto. This might be a good target, though. Dragoon taking a heaping amount. The cast gets dropped on Dragoon's dome. And now it is the curtain call. And is it curtains for Cincinnati Fear? It looks the answer to be yes. Psycho is on a killing spree. And yet again, the gold might favor Fear, but AOE randoms will fight it out every time.
Dude, Colthro's just got the nastiest engages. He's going for it again under the turret travesty, and he can't quite get a whole lot more kills, but wait, hold on, I spoke too soon.
Getting caught out a little bit there, but it's fine. He's able to reduce the damage. Geiger laying in the damage as well. Those blades speaking for days. Blades is over here onto the back end, trying to see if he'll be able to execute anybody. No cleanup crew just yet. Finds Psycho. Finds another. Make it 2. Has the double kill, but the Immortal Shield Bow from Nemesis 9 has been popped. Blaze trying to figure out a fancy way to maneuver his way around this fight. But beautiful footwork comes in. A triple kill from Blaze. Dragoon trying to see if he can finish off everything. The overstay being punished, and Dragoon takes out Puckus, and it is now the Dragon secure from Fear.
Man, this series is fun. We start everything off with the sickest engage possible from Colthro, and they just keep going, and Blaze punishes him. Triple kill on the Akali, but then he goes down. Oh my, I feel like I'm telling a crazy story at a bar right now.
It's just, I mean, just show the people the VOD of this while it's happening, right? They just need a physical representation, because this has been a crazy series, and this game right here, in game number 3, it hasn't stopped being crazy. These team fights, it's swinging back and forth and back and forth.
Ibram, roll the clip.
Waiting.
Damn, I thought that would work.
I thought it would work too. It's like a snap your head. He does it in tweezers. There you go.
He's a clap activated light. Look at Blaze, man. It's so much damage that he's dealing. And then this last shuriken flip is the real kicker here. He's completely dead, but then boom. He shuriken flips, he dodges the mortal steel from the Yone, and then he gets a return kill. It's a triple. Oh, Blaze is so good. He's just leveling up his gameplay every single time I see him.
It's actually kind of scary how good Blaze has gotten ever since the last time we saw him. And look at this. Fear get a beautiful catch. This time it's Coulter that's caught. And this is not the same game that it was last time. AOE randoms, when they picked up that one team fight dub, they didn't stop picking up dubs. This time around, Fear, they're getting Baron for themselves.
Yeah, Colthro can't survive there. Picked off. The Baron is the prize, and there's just no smite. There's no cavalry here for AOE randoms to get into this pit. It's again secured by Cincinnati Fear, and we were hopeful for a little bit. I could hear it in your voice as well, and I was definitely hopeful that AOE Randoms was going to pull off something wild in this game. That engage from Kothro was beautiful, but Blaze just bounced back so hard, and Cincinnati Fear secured the Drake, and it gave them a lot of map pressure everywhere. They're able to set up for this Baron as well and slay the trap for Kothro to walk right into. Cincinnati Fear are certainly in the driver's seat at this point, and it's feeling like they might be able to close out this momentum from AOE Randoms and take themselves to the group lead.
This is where things get tested, right? Like, do you take this Baron buff? What do you get from this Baron buff? Right now, they haven't been able to get anything because AOE Randoms did do something that was really nice. They did shove up all the waves as a response to Kothro getting dropped. So waves were shoved, so nobody's in a position just yet. The demolition crew hasn't arrived, but you can see that Fear is trying to get themselves onto the board to where they can start setting up the siege.
Get a Mudir. Yeah. Kill the. Yeah. Get the.
Yeah.
Kill. 13 gold. An earned kill for Udyr. So we've got the big stacked minion wave in this bottom lane. Recall from Geiger. They're going to be okay giving up this turret. There's not a whole lot they can do. There's not a lot of wave clear on the side of AOE Randoms. And I mean, for Geiger, you're really just trying to get level 16 at this point. You need to get the scaling, but being under this turret is not where you want to be.
Under the turret is not where you want to be, but right now Fear might be in a place they don't want to be. Nemesis 9 had Flux in the sights and will be able to execute him. Dragoon trying to flash away, get away from the damage coming in. Blaze coming in, but a hard stuff from Gragas. Stops Blaze in his tracks, but flawless execution on his way out. Make sure he takes a kill with him. But now Geiger, the raid boss, has been unlocked. He's level 16. Oh my god, Kothro catching out Sketch. And a beautiful play. Dragoon is left alone, and it's an ace for AOE Random.
They've turned it around, Travesty. AOE Randoms take the fight, and they do it so well. Kothro on the Gragas. This guy cannot be stopped. The engages are just too clean, too creative, too inventive, and it's all on the big man in the jungle, the Gragas. These casks, these body slams, otherworldly. Let's watch this again, because like we were saying, AOE Randoms, they're underneath this turret. It's Fear who are the ones that are trying to start the play, but the engage force gets completely stuffed. It's Pocus's Rakan again who does it, and Flux just can't get any crowd control down. The Kale ultimate saves Nemesis 9 for such a long time, and Pocus, he's already done his job. He goes down with all the glory in the world, and then we finally get to see Kothro. Wait, okay, we don't get to see because he's doing it again!
Looking for it again. He's not done just yet. Nemesis 9 looking to see if he can dissuade them away. Fear wants this dragon. This is Mountain Soul. This is huge. As they're looking to see if they can get the catch onto Trista. Trista goes into turtle stance and stays safe. Blaze trying to see if he can get the execution onto Kale, but Kale is unstoppable. But Soul has been accomplished. Now, can Fear live this fight? Lets us drop down to a critical massive HP, is looking to get shot away. Nemesis 9 is in the midst of it all. Sketch trying to see if he can fight his way out of it, but Nemesis 9 will seal your fate. And it is AOE Random coming out on top. Trickster, the only survivor.
That's a 4 for 0 for AOE Randoms. Nobody goes down. They give up the soul. But did you see Geiger's setup is completely covering his team's bases? Level 17 now on this Kale. Nearly the highest level in the entire game at this point. Oh, that was such good positioning. Completely removed Blaze from the fight. Solo killed him on the backside. Now they get to eat all the jungle camps. They get to take all of the structures. And AOE Randoms, they've got a gold lead.
They do have a gold lead for the first time inside the game, I think, honestly.
Just like last game.
Just like last game. But will history repeat itself here? Will history repeat itself? Will AOE Randoms? Is this the start of the fight back? When you look at the levels, you look at that last couple fights. Survey will tell you, it looks like AOE Randoms are putting themselves in a hot spot.
Oh man, I've been hyping up this team for a bit now. We had them on the co-stream that we did, the stream of the OQ games. We had a few AOE Randoms performances there, and they had a really good showing in those ones over on the PG Pod. And I was super impressed. I did not think that this team would have it in them to get this much better this quickly, but they really have done it. They have been able to work together so well. The entire squad is adapting to the new members on the team. They're adapting to the new patches, and they're bringing their own flair to it too. Like we saw the Cho'Gath last game. We got Geiger playing Kale now. Psycho is first picking Jhin in these games. It's phenomenal, and they're all working together on this. These are the kind of games that you absolutely love to see, and it's such an upset as well if they're able to take this series. It was an upset that they took a game in game 2, but they're going a step further beyond this as well.
They're looking to. Nemesis 9 does have teleport, is in the bot lane at the current moment in time. Cincinnati Fear does have Mountain Soul. Game is currently at just about an even state in gold now, but with Baron spawning up and the raid boss that is Geiger, what does Fear do to get things going? They're looking for the catch. Shuriken Toss doesn't hit. Teleport is coming in. They're looking for a possible fight. Coulter looking for it. Does catch onto Blaze. He's stuck inside the shroud. He's getting locked down permanently as the hourglass is there. He's buying as much time as possible. Nemesis 9 comes over looking to finish the job for himself. The curtain call is there. They buffer out Blaze. While the fight's happening on the other side, Blaze still got the kill onto Nemesis 9. He lived it all. Geiger's trying to see what he can do. Sketch rocket jumps forward. Geiger's down. It's a shutdown. Fear is on a rampage now. They're picking up member after member. They're trying to see what he can do. Goes golden. Sketch able to secure the kill. It is only Coulter of Pockets. The Baron is up and Fear is back in the driver's seat.
There's no damage left for AOE randoms, and there's no way for them to get into this pit. Cold throw, he's got the smite, but it's half HP already. He's too late to this. Unless he isn't. He's got the Predator. He's in range. Wait, can he actually take this one?
He is, but look at this. He's getting zoned off of a Dragoon is here in the wings as well. Baron secured for Cincinnati Fear. They're looking to see if they can follow it up any further. The Coulter knows he needs to get out of there and live to fight another day.
That was a team fight. That was really close to being explosive for AOE, but Cincinnati Fear shut down Geiger, even though he dealt 20,000 damage. Is that right? 20,000 damage in one fight. That's what we just saw for Geiger.
That's insane.
That's ridiculous that he just did that in the fight. But Cincinnati Fear were still able to isolate him and shut him down. And again, Blaze on these flanks is the stuff of wonders for Cincinnati Fear. He is the reason that the team fights are starting to get more scattered. We talk a lot about how you can explode a team fight and how you can find creative ways to do so. That's Blaze. That's what he is doing right this very moment, and he's doing it so well.
Nemesis 9 does not have teleport and is just pushing topside right now. This could be a dangerous situation. This could be a possible 4v5 that could be the fight they're looking for. Fear wants it. They're trying to see. Coulter goes in for the body slam. He gets a nice ult onto him. The stun is there. They're trying to see if they can tag anybody up. Nemesis 9 has gotten his recall off. He's going to be able to rejoin to this fight. But is it too late? Coulter has already gone down. There's the ultimate coming in from Nemesis 9. He's trying to see if he can pick up the kills that are necessary for the team. Let's goes in. Blaze finds kills, but it is a full routing. Fear pick up the dub for themselves. It is only Geiger left versus the world.
If there's anyone you want to still be alive, it is your Kale, almost max level. Maybe he can save the game right here. It's gonna be so tough. He needs to deal so much damage, but Geiger, he can't do it. He gets crit by the gangplank, and that's the reverse sweep stuff. Cincinnati Fear take it in the end and show what a finalist is really made of.
Fear picked up the dub, but I am still just left speechless, Mats. What a series, what a performance by both of these teams, but it is ultimately Fear who come out on top with some clutch plays in those last two team fights.
Oh my god, that game was so close. That was ridiculous. That's one of those ones where if you're on either team, you kind of just have to sit back and be like, that was fun. That's what this is all about. That's what these tournaments are all about. That's what we play for in this League of Legends game. It's just games like that are just so cool when it comes down to those team fights, and I gotta sing his praises again here, Travesty. Blaze's Akali. It was so good. He was bouncing around everywhere. That was so crazy. He's an acrobat in these team fights, completely 1v9ing him. What?
I mean, even like the second to last team fight, it was like it looked like Blaze got caught out of position.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, and then you saw like Nemesis 9, he just jumps over the wall. He's like, I will finish you off myself. And he lives with like 1 HP. Like, how does he do it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. He's so good.
He's
so good. I can't wait to see him play in the next series. That'll be next week, though. He's not another series today.
Yeah, look, I'm excited for it. We're excited to see more AOE randoms. They do find themselves going down to the lower side of the bracket, but we are going to go ahead and send it over to a short break. But make sure you don't go anywhere, as we got Blaze in the wings for an interview. Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the Proving Ground Circuit Qualifier. I'm Travis, and I'm joined here with the mid laner from Cincinnati Fear, Blaze. How are you doing, man?
You know, doing all right. A little stressed out from the game 3, but in the end we got it, so it's all good.
Yeah, I was about to say, this was a very hard fought series. So kind of walk me through everything here, as you guys were fighting tooth and nail with AOE randoms throughout the series.
So I'm gonna be honest. I'll start. I think we lost ourselves, to be honest, and I don't think there's anything else to it. I think we just lost ourselves today, or we didn't lose to ourselves, but we're fighting against ourselves.
Okay. I mean, look, AOE randoms put you guys through a ringer. Me and Smats on the desk, we were just like, we were hitting the panic button when we saw Kale hit level 16. We were like, oh, geez. So game number 3, you had a highlight reel, I would say. You could go through that game and pick out so many different moments on the Akali. Was that kind of confidence what you had when you locked in the Akali? Were you just like, this is the champion where I can style? Or walk me through that.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking on 4-5, right, pick, and we're deciding if it's just a Portuguese counter pick or mid or whatever it was. And I just said, like, I already know what champs they're gonna lock in. Let's just keep the angle for me. And I brought up that I didn't want to play Akali, and they gave me the angle, and we took it.
Absolutely. Love to hear that. And, you guys are moving on to the next round of competition. You guys are still up there in the upper bracket inside your group, so definitely feels good. Have some expectations for yourselves going in here. Finalist in the last Proving Ground Circuit qualifier, and also a 4-1 performance. So how is the team's morale going into the group stage here? Were you guys very confident going into AOE randoms?
Well, yeah, we don't think this group should be a problem for us at all. And last split we really revved up throughout the split, and I think we're gonna continue doing that. This 2-week break was a little annoying, I guess, because some people were on like doing things in real life, busy, scrims were a little slow. But I'm back. I'm happy to be back to it, week after week of competition, and I think we're gonna keep scaling.
I have to ask, because I saw that the Cincinnati Fear Twitter posted something about it. It's the first time that all the analysts have gone Cincinnati Fear so far. Was that a big confidence boost for you guys, or were you like, oh no, we're Jeans, hold up?
Well, I mean, finally, game after game last split, we kept winning, but no one cared about us anymore, or still. I'm glad we can have votes against AOE randos at least, and in the future, I'm hoping we'll get more.
Keeping your eyes on all of you.
And shout out to Twitter. They always voted for us.
Twitter they always get it right? So my last thing I have to ask, Group C, you guys had a very close series against AOE randoms. For your next opponent, I know you guys are going to probably be watching this Nets matchup closely to see who you go against. Is there a opponent that you favor, or is there anything that you're looking forward to between these two? Is there a certain one that you want to see?
If you let me know who's playing next, I can tell you.
BLG Fave versus AOE GT.
Well, I'm confident versus both those teams. Both teams actually have weird champion picks. So I'd say we're gonna go into either of them kind of the same. Obviously the champs are a little different, but yeah, they both just have weird champion picks, and I think that's the highlight of their teams.
Absolutely, we love to see it. And you have any words that you want to say to the people who are either jumping onto the Fear bandwagon now, or have all been along for the ride ever since?
I mean, if you've been supporting Fear, you're doing the right thing. And if you're coming on, it's alright. We take bandwagoners. It's all good. It happens.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Blaze, and
Thank
we
you.
wish you the best of luck in your Nets matchup. Have a great one.
Thank you
As
very much.
we are going to go ahead and send it over to a break when we get ready to go into our Nets matchup between CLG Faith and AOE Ginger Tamari. So make sure you don't go anywhere.